guys, and welcome back to Rain Marginal. So let's just jump right back in. After waiting a bit, she came back with a small tin. Ta-da! Sakuma drops! Oh, I haven't had those in ages. Heck, I didn't know they still made these. I remember eating them all the time when I was small. Food items drifting here are ultra rare. Ooh, and even when you occasionally find them, they're all soaked and slimy. Well, there's nothing you can do about that. So that's why you need to take your time and enjoy it, because we eat this only when there is something to celebrate. Saying that, she happily rattled the can. She probably was imitating how lotteries were drawn, though that smug face she was making was pretty amusing. And even if the bad one comes out, don't get upset, okay? I know. Then she opened the tin and tilted it toward my palm. A single candy rolled out. It was, how do you say, expected, or even cliche, that white one. Of course it came out, that bad white one. Why did the best one? How nice! Hey, wait a minute. White's always the bad one, everyone knows that. What are you saying? White's the best one. White's number one. I don't get it. Well, I get that you like the white one. I looked around at the rain as it continued to fall. No, at the rain that would never end. While looking at the sky, the two of us put the candy in our mouths. In the end, I wound up trading my white one with the grape she got. The grape flavor spreading in my mouth felt extra sweet. You know, it's a pretty strange feeling. Yes, because here you never get hungry. You don't have to eat, never get sick, don't age, you can't even die. At night, RIN had sarcastically said that it was a timeout room, but depending on how you thought about it, you might be able to see it as heaven. This might be pretty amazing. No, wonderful even. Wonderful? Well, think about it. Out in the real world, everyone's working so hard to eat. And there's sickness, death, and many worries too, I'll bet. Yeah, that's true. But I think it also feels a bit lonely. Lonely? Why? Well, I don't like to be hungry. But maybe exactly because of that, when you eat delicious food, you're happy. She was speaking somewhat gravely. Since she was usually so bright and cheerful, that sight left a strong impression. Alright. So now we go on to Lady. Help me. She said that, even if she hadn't said it, her eyes told me. Up until now, someone who served as a priestess, who risked her entire life to be the sacrifice for atonement, believed in God, without question, sacrificing herself, a person whose endless smile never broke, pleaded for the first time. For the first time. She beseeched that God for salvation. But my sister died. In the end, her life ended simply without me hearing her voice, and my own life was also stained ashen gray. Apparently, things like gods don't exist. That's right, I swore in my heart. There are no gods. Even if one did exist, I swear to never accept such things as gods. If there was something that called itself a god, and were to mete out punishment upon me, then let them punish me as much as they may please. All the punishment I get, put together with this unjust fate, my sister's regrets, my own regrets, someday I will turn them into a curse. Chapter 2, Mistress of the Rainy World. I suddenly woke up. The sound of rain falling and the sensation of water hitting my face roused me. Where am I? The first thing I could hear was the sound of rain falling. Next, what jumped at my eyes was white everywhere. All I could see was the pure white sky and flagstones. Thanks to the rain, I couldn't see clearly, even a short distance away. But just before, the mountains had been buried in snow. Without thinking, I spun around, but everywhere I looked had the same scenery stretching on. Even if I strained my eyes, all I could see beyond the haze was the rain, or of the rain, was the faint white horizon. I have no idea. At first, I had thought it was a dream, but it didn't seem that way. For a dream, the scene before my eyes, the feeling of the rain on my skin was just too vivid. Then, was this the other world? One after death? It was pretty far from what I had thought it would be like. But most importantly, if this is the afterlife, it was strange that I didn't see my sister. 33 years hadn't passed, so she shouldn't have become an ancestral spirit yet. Wait, not only was my sister missing, but so was everyone else. There weren't any signs of movement. I don't really understand, but I guess I'll try walking around. I started slowly walking. No matter how much I thought about it, it didn't seem like I'd arrive at an answer, and staying put wouldn't do anything. Being soaked by rain didn't make me feel cold, but having it constantly falling on me was tiring. And after a while, I don't really know how far I continued walking. But everything remained the same, and there wasn't any change in scenery. No matter where I walked, the flagstones continued. There wasn't anything that looked like buildings. And of course there weren't any signs of people, nor signs of anything moving. Then I noticed something. Why am I not hungry? Before coming here, I hadn't eaten in 3 days and was starving, to the point where I was on the verge of death from cold and hunger. And yet right now I don't feel any hunger and my body doesn't feel weak. Just what is this place? The same question kept repeating in my mind. At the least, I didn't think it was the real world. The closest thing I could imagine was the afterlife, but it felt different from that too. Or could it really... Suddenly I had a thought. What if this was? What if I had been brought to this place in order to complete repaying my debt? Of course, if you ask who was responsible, it would probably be that god or whatever. Besides that, I couldn't think of any other reason. I see. If I think of it that way, it explains a number of things. As a priestess of a shrine, I was repaying a debt to God. On top of that, I was still continuing to do so. If that god or whatever were counting on that, then something like this happening wouldn't be too surprising. Saying he'd been denied repayment and wanted me to repay the debt properly. And if I didn't live in the real world, then a different place would be prepared. If that was the case, then it all fit. However, at the same time, a different emotion boiled forth from within me. Anger. It'd be a problem if I were misunderstood. Right now, I wasn't continuing on with the sacrifice for God's sake, and obviously not for the shrine nor the head priest either. Yes, this is all for my sister. If there had really been a god or whatever, then why didn't he save her then? If they were capable of making such miracles happen, it shouldn't have been difficult. I will not accept anything that does that as a god. If this were something that would benefit such a god, I had no intention of participating in it. The anger within me grew bigger and bigger, soaked by the rain, standing all alone, in an incomparably immense place, with the flagstones stretching seemingly endlessly before me, an inexhaustible amount of rain, falling rain. When he could bring about a miracle like this, and yet he still continues to demand that helpless people like us continue struggling to repay a debt? When that thought came to me, I took off the cloth wrapped around my mouth. It was almost unconscious. I had been taking care not to make a sound all this time, but that wasn't necessary anymore. I looked up at the sky. Something was probably looking down upon me from above the rain clouds. There was about 200 years left, and I didn't care. Not about sacrifices, nor atonement. For starters, I don't recall my sister and I creating a debt. I had threw away the silk cloth that had wrapped around my mouth. Then I took a deep breath. It's over! I shouted. We could start from the beginning again! Words for him, looking down upon me from beyond the rain clouds. No, I wasn't even certain whether such things really existed. These were words for myself. To make sure I wouldn't be drowned out by the rain, I yelled at the top of my lungs. There, I said it! Without noticing, I was out of breath. It had been about a year since I used my voice. Who would do anything for you? Who serves you right? Choosing me to be a sacrifice, not saving my sister? That was where you failed. At some point, my shouting at the sky had changed into coughing. While being battered by the rain, it was a cough that even I myself could tell was tinged with self-mockery. For times like this, my low, uncute voice felt appropriate. I wonder what's wrong. Afterwards, I hadn't left the area, but nothing happened. Hey, hurry up and return me back to my home world. You're done with me, right? I don't want to be a sacrifice. Once more, I shouted towards the sky. The rain just continued to fall, and there was still no reply. I spoke, in a big voice, too. The 333 years of atonement should have been broken. There was supposed to be 200 yet, but it doesn't matter now. At the least, there should be no more use for me. Essentially, both the reason I was brought here and the reason to lock me up here should have gone away. Hurry up already! Since even if you send me back, I'm just going to die. Over and over again, I shouted up at the sky. There was no response, nothing happened. There was simply silence and rain falling on my face. Could it be that this wasn't his doing? The thought trembled from my lips. Not an answer to anyone, just questioning my own question, or just answering my own question. Then this had nothing to do with the atonement? But then what was this place? What have you been doing all this time? Turning around, there was an unfamiliar woman. She seemed like a young woman, and of course, it wasn't my sister. Long black hair and pretty face, wearing a tattered kimono, she stood apparently happily in the rain. You're an interesting one. First time I've seen someone yelling at the sky. Well, standing around here talking isn't that great, so let's go over there. With that, the woman quickly started walking off. I had no idea what to say and wound up saying nothing. Hey, wait a minute, please. Is something the matter? Before that, where is this place? Explaining that will be a bit long, you see. Plus, if we'd get soaked by the rain. So, for now, come with me. As if she didn't hear me, she quickly went off, splashing in puddles as she walked. Who was this person? Could she be a messenger from the gods? She didn't really look like one, though. While thinking, I started to follow after the woman.
ほら、そこよ。あそこだったら雨に濡れないでしょ?
See, it's over. See, it's there. Over there you won't get wet, right? She pointed at a structure made of large stone pillars. Up till now, I had seen large buildings and shrines made of wood, but this was different from all of those. At the least, it was something that I've never seen before.
冷たかったわね。結構濡れちゃったわ。
Whew, that was cold, and I got pretty wet too. As she entered the structure, the woman started to brush the rain off from her body. Looking around, there were just a few garden stones scattered about and nothing else. It was fairly spacious, but it was a place with just it was a place with just a roof to avoid the rain. For someone who had been hiding deep in the mountains, it was a bit odd for me to say, but it was a pretty lonely place. Or did it mean that there was no other place with a roof?
そうよ。屋根があるのはここだけ。だから贅沢なこと考えちゃダメよ。
Yes, this is the only place with a roof, so you shouldn't be picky. But I haven't even spoken out loud yet. She answered like she knew what I was thinking.
それくらいわかるわよ。顔を見ただけで何を考えているかな
I
んて。
can tell. Just by looking at your face, I can see what you're thinking. This person might really be a messenger from the gods. I didn't know her real purpose, but it was just too unnatural to think that a normal person would be in a place like this.
ねえ、ミコさん。
So, Miss Priestess, she directed her words at me.
なんですか?
What is it?
あなた、もしかしたら私のことを神の使いだと思ってる?
Could it be that you're thinking that I'm some messenger from God? I gave a small nod. If this place were a place prepared by God, I had been expecting some kind of reaction from my breaking the atonement earlier, and I had thought that I would be sent back to the real world. So this person was a messenger from God, and most likely had appeared before me bearing some kind of task.
でもま、本当は違うのよ。
But that is not the case, Miss Priestess.
違うとは。
What do you mean?
言葉の通りよ。別に私は神の使いじゃないし、普通の人間よ。
Like I said, I am not a messenger from God, just a normal human.
でもさっき私の考えを見透かしたのに。
But you could see what I was thinking earlier.
バカね。見透かしたんじゃなくて経験則よ。
Silly. I'm not reading your thoughts, it's experience.
経験則。
Experience?
ええ。今まで何十人と同じ問答をやってきたと思ってるの?
Yes. Just how many tens of people do you think I've done these answers for?
最初みんな似たようなこと言うから覚えちゃっただけよ。
In the beginning, everyone says the same thing. So I've just memorized the answers. If those words were true, then she was a normal person. And that would mean she had nothing to do with gods, the shrine that raised me, the atonement, nor the sacrifice. Then just what was this place? I became even more confused.
教えてあげるわ。知ってる限りだけど。
I'll tell you as much as I know about this place. Another answer like she had again seen through me. Is this something you can get from experience? Or was she really hiding that she was a messenger from God? I still couldn't tell. She went through everything once with me. According to her, it seemed this wasn't the real world, and yet it also wasn't the afterlife. Basically, it wasn't the land of the dead nor the land of eternal youth. She said that if she had to guess, it was between the real world and the afterlife, a place like a ghost world.
まあ、ニコにもわかるように説明すると、ここは時の止まった場所ね。
Well, to explain it in a way that a priestess can understand, this is a place where time has stopped.
時が。
Time has stopped?
そうよ。だからここでは飢えることもないし、
That's right.
年を取ること
So
も
here,
病気にな
you
ることも
don't
ない。
starve, get old, or sick.
じゃあ、死ぬことも。
Then, you can't even die?
もち
Of
ろん。
course. Her answer was brief.
ねえ、お姉さん。一つ質問してもいい?
Say, miss, can I ask one question?
別に構わないけど、先に答えてあげるわ。どうせ聞かなくてもわかるから。
I don't mind, but I'll answer it before you ask, since I know what you're going to ask anyway. Saying that, she took a small breath and kept speaking.
まず何の目的でここがあるのかは誰も知らない。
First, no one knows why this place exists.
誰がいつここを作ったのかも知らない。
Who created this place and when? No one knows.
神様じゃない。
It's not the gods?
神様？あなた面白いこと言うわ
The
ね。
gods? You say some interesting things.
どうして？これは人になせる技じゃないわ。
Why? This isn't something that can be done by men. Saying that, I pointed at the endlessly continuing flagstones fogged by rain. But I am all out of time for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!